Well, it looks like Far Cry 6 has been announced for its upcoming release on February 18th of 2021. It's supposed to be appearing for next-gen consoles, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, along with the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and Google Stadia. One thing we know about this game is that we'll see the introduction of a new villain known as Anton Castillo, who's the main villain for Far Cry 6. He's a president of a fictional country named Yara, and the reason he's the main villain is because he's pretty much a dictator that's trying to create a slave state out of Yara, and basically the country was left in shambles after decades of economic sanctions, which has basically, destroyed the country. And pretty much the character that you play as is someone named Danny Rojas, who can either be a male or a female, who aligns himself with guerrilla fighters, who is basically a part of the guerrilla revolution to overthrow the president. And the cool thing about this game is that you'll be able to see your character in cutscenes and narrative sections, which is something that was common in some of the previous installments of the Far Cry series. And it's funny because this uprising against the nation's president, it kind of relates to real life in some ways, because it seemed like that's something that's actually happening in America right now. So some people, or actually many people for that matter, will find this game rather interesting. The question is whether or not this game will be as popular as Far Cry 5. Now, Far Cry 5, despite how controversial it was following its release in 2018, it was arguably one of the best first-person shooters of that year. I believe it managed to generate over $310 million in revenue within its first week of sales, and that's pretty impressive. Hopefully, Far Cry 6 will be able to surpass Far Cry 5 in terms of drawing more revenue within its first week of sales. We'll just have to wait and see. But the plot looks very interesting. The gameplay looks very nice, and seeing that's going to be on both new generation consoles along with what we have right now with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, it'll be interesting to see how well this game performs in terms of sales.